Welcome to the Deep Dive. You're here because you want to get smart fast. Today, we're looking at something that, well, it can feel pretty personal, maybe even a little eyebrow raising, manifesting love.
Hmm.
Yeah, forget just, hoping you'll bump into the one. This is,
Yeah,
well, it's a different approach.
it really is. And you shared this interesting piece with us from marriage.com, How to Manifest Love in 10 Simple Steps by Rachel Pace.
That's the one.
And it kind of hits you right away with this stat. A huge number, 75% of Americans, say they actually struggle to find people to date just by, leaving it up to chance.
75%. Wow, that really makes you think, doesn't it? About whether there's, a more active way.
Exactly. So the article suggests taking a more proactive role.
Right. So our mission here isn't about conjuring a specific person out of thin air, but really exploring this idea, these techniques for actively attracting love.
Based on the article.
Okay, so let's get into the core idea then. What exactly is the manifestation of love according to this piece?
Well, what's interesting is how they distinguish between just, wanting something
Yeah.
and actively trying to make it happen.
Okay.
I'd say we're kind of always manifesting things, but maybe unconsciously. Like you might unconsciously want connection,
Uh-huh.
but conscious manifestation is about intentionally focusing that desire and, importantly, taking steps towards it.
Taking steps. Right.
They even mentioned how The Secret brought a lot of attention to this whole conscious creation idea.
Ah, right. The secret.
But of course, applying this to something like love, which feels so intangible, well, it raises questions.
It absolutely does. I mean, manifesting, say, a new job or money might feel a bit more concrete. Love is just,
Yeah,
it's complex.
for sure.
So does the article actually argue that you can manifest love? What's their angle on that? Is it possible?
It tackles that, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It connects manifestation to the law of attraction, that basic idea that you attract what you are.
Okay, the law of attraction. I've heard of that.
But here's the crucial bit, their emphasis.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really about magically pulling a specific person into your orbit. They kind of say that might not even be possible.
Right. Not about controlling someone else.
Exactly. The focus is much more on attracting a certain kind of person.
Mm.
And how do you do that?
Yeah.
By working on yourself first.
Okay. So it comes back to you. This is where it gets really interesting for me.
Mm-hmm.
The article really hammers home that the groundwork starts with self-improvement. It talks about becoming, I think the phrase was, a comfortable version of yourself.
That's it. Yeah.
Before you even think about a partner, not looking for someone to fill a void or complete you.
Precisely. You've got to feel solid on your own first.
Mhm.
That seems to be the message. It makes intuitive sense, right?
It really does. Feeling good in your own skin first.
And it's that internal work, that feeling good,
Yeah.
that then shapes your external reality,
Yeah.
or so the thinking goes.
Okay.
And then the article gives this structure, these 10 steps to kind of guide you through it.
10 steps. Right. Let's walk through them. What's step one?
Step 1 is simply think about what you want.
Okay, sounds easy enough.
Well, yes and no. It's more nuanced than just like daydreaming about a perfect partner.
Ah, right. Not the rom-com fantasy version.
Exactly. The article pushes you to get real. Consider the practical stuff. What kind of relationship do you actually want? Is it long-term? Casual.
Hmm. Practical things like financial independence, maybe personality traits that genuinely match you.
Yes, all of that.
Yeah.
Not just what sounds nice on paper.
Mm.
They stress this isn't a quick thing. It requires some deep thought about your own real desires and expectations.
So step one is basically a deep dive into yourself.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that clarity then leads into step 2. Write it down.
Write it down. Okay, seems straightforward. What's the reasoning behind that?
The idea is that actually writing it, whether it's typing or pen to paper, helps solidify those thoughts, makes the intentions more tangible.
Tangible, right. Like you're making it more real somehow.
Exactly. It aids visualization, too.
Mm-hmm.
And they mention it applies whether you're, say, trying to manifest someone to love you again or starting completely fresh.
Interesting. The act of writing itself might shift your focus.
That seems to be the idea, bringing those abstract wants into the physical world a bit more.
Okay. So after thinking and writing, what's next? Step 3?
Step 3 takes you further inward.
Mm-hmm.
Reflect.
Reflect.
And the article points out this is especially key if you're maybe hoping for a reconciliation, like manifesting someone to miss you, that kind of thing.
Okay. So if you want someone back, it's not just wishing.
No, it's about really looking hard at what happened before. Why did it end? What were the dynamics? What was your role?
That self-awareness seems crucial before you can expect a different outcome, right? Whether it's with them or someone new.
Absolutely. And that reflection, that understanding, Leads logically to step 4, make changes.
Make changes. Okay, this sounds like where the action really starts.
It is. This is where the abstract ideas need concrete action. After you've reflected and identified areas needing growth, you actually have to, do something about them.
Right. It's not passive.
Definitely not. And the article acknowledges, look, this can be the tough part. It takes willpower, positive thinking, maybe some emotional surrender too.
Yeah.
They even suggest watching a video for motivation, which is interesting.
Yeah, acknowledging the difficulty is important. Okay, so you reflect, you make changes, then step 5 is commit. How is that different from making changes?
Good question. Commit seems to be more about the maintenance phase, solidifying those changes you've started, making them stick, turning them into habit.
Ah, okay. Like locking it in.
Yeah, and continuing to send out that positive energy, that changed energy, even after the initial effort. It reinforces that law of attraction thing again. Your consistent behavior attracts similar energy.
Got it. It's ongoing. Okay, steps 1 through 5 feel quite active. Thinking, writing, changing, committing. Step 6 is meditate. That feels like a shift.
It is a bit of a pivot, yeah. After all that doing, this step seems to be about creating space, quiet calmness, receptivity,
Receptivity for what?
for things to maybe come to you. The article suggests using meditation to reflect on opportunities showing up, to consider different viewpoints, even just noticing how others are interacting with you now.
Like tuning your antenna to pick up signals you might have missed when you were so busy doing.
Exactly that. Tuning in, allowing for perhaps deeper self-discovery or insights in that quiet space.
Okay, that makes sense. Then step 7 is reassess. What's involved there?
This is like a check-in point. You've done the work, you've meditated. Now, take stock. Are you actually seeing the kind of attention or energy you were hoping for? Is it aligning with what you wrote down back in step 2?
And crucially.
Crucially, yes.
Yeah.
Are you happier? Are you feeling more satisfied?
Right. And the article is quite direct, isn't it? If the answer is no, or things aren't quite right.
Then it suggests you might need to revisit the earlier steps or maybe move on to the next ones. It might mean more changes are needed.
Which leads nicely to step 8. Open your mind. This feels like a big one.
I think so too.
Yeah,
We can get so stuck on a very specific picture of our ideal partner, right?
definitely. The checklist.
Yeah, the checklist. This step challenges those potentially limiting ideas. It asks you to consider qualities you might have previously dismissed.
Like maybe you were focused on someone popular and rich.
But perhaps what you really need is someone caring and supportive, even if they don't tick those other boxes. It's about potentially realizing your ideal wasn't actually ideal for you.
That could lead to some real self-awareness, couldn't it? Refining what truly matters.
For sure. Okay, almost there. Step 9 is focus.
Focus. We've been doing a lot of focusing, haven't we?
True, but this sounds like a reinforcement.
Yeah.
Keep your energy directed, both inward on your continuing growth and outward on your intentions. It's acknowledging the process might be iterative. You might need to refocus.
Okay. Keep the intention strong.
Yeah. And they use this interesting analogy here, especially if you're trying to manifest someone to miss you. They compare it to working for a demanding boss,
A demanding boss. How so?
meaning you need to be proactive, engaged, put in the effort to get their attention or the desired result. You can't just sit back passively.
Ah, I see. It's a clever way to frame it. It requires active engagement, not just wishful thinking.
Precisely. And that brings us to the final step, number 10. Practice gratitude.
Gratitude. Why is that the end point?
Well, the article stresses appreciating the journey. The lessons learned, the positive changes you've made in yourself, regardless of whether the one has shown up yet.
So appreciate the process, not just the outcome.
Exactly. And they even mentioned some research linking gratitude practice to better life satisfaction, better relationship satisfaction overall. So there's a grounding there too.
That's a positive way to round it off. So after these 10 steps, how does the article wrap things up?
It circles back, acknowledging that, yes, manifestation is still kind of controversial, still debated.
Right. It doesn't claim it's magic.
No. And I think the expert perspective they include is important. It basically says, look, even if you're skeptical about the magic part, this framework gives you practical tools. Tools for self-improvement, for clarifying goals, for actively pursuing relationships.
So useful whether you believe in the woo part or not.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
They also throw in a little mention right at the end about a potential dark side to manifestation, which is intriguing, something maybe to think about.
Interesting. Okay, so to sort of bring this all together for everyone listening,
Hmm.
this deep dive into the Marriage.com article gives us this 10-step plan for trying to consciously attract love.
Hmm.
And it seems less about, mystical spells and more about really practical things. Self-reflection, taking action on personal growth, keeping a positive mindset, being open.
Exactly. The term manifesting love might sound
Oh, bit.
out there,
Yeah.
but the article really tries to ground it in tangible actions. Actions based on that core idea,
Hmm.
who you are, influences who you attract.
Encouraging a proactive stance instead of just waiting around. Right.
Taking some control, perhaps, over your own dating life through your own actions and mindset.
So a final thought for you listening. Maybe consider which of these 10 steps, if any, kind of resonates with you. And putting aside whether you fully buy into manifestation as a concept, how might consciously thinking about your own mindset, your actions, your self-awareness, how might that actually influence the connections you make?
Yeah, it's worth pondering, isn't it?
Yeah.
That interplay between what you intentionally put out there, your focus, your energy, your personal growth, and what comes back to you in your relationships. Food for thought.